I'm just Nick, and this is the ZVEX Fuzz Probe. So, what this is a fabled pedal that combines the equally fabled ZVEX Fuzz Factory with an antenna. The Fuzz Factory, I think, was one of the first pedals that ZVEX came out with, and it was really original and very influential because it could produce an amazing range of fuzz sounds, from fairly typical, predictable ones to really far out, uncontrollable ones, including all kinds of self-oscillation. And not that long after the Fuzz Factory first came out, ZVEX had the brilliant idea of connecting it to a plate antenna. That's what this is here. And using that antenna, much in the way that one uses antennas in the instrument known as a theremin. A theremin is that instrument that you may have seen or heard where the player controls the pitch and volume of the instrument by moving their hands or any other body part closer or further from these antennas, and basically disturbing an electromagnetic field around the antennas. In the theremin, as I mentioned, that variation in the electromagnetic field is used to control volume and pitch. On this fuzz probe, it's used to control this knob right here, which is called the stability knob. And essentially it controls the degree to which, or how easily and at what pitch, the pedal produces self-oscillation. The way this antenna works is it's acting as one plate of a capacitor. If you're familiar with a capacitor, it's a device that stores electrical charge, and it involves two plates. And as the plates move closer together and further apart, the amount of capacitance, or the ability of the pedal to store electrical charge, changes. Well, in this case, one plate is the antenna. The other plate is your hand or foot or other body part. That is acting as the second grounded plate, and therefore as you move it closer or further away, you're varying capacitance of this circuit, and that variation is being used to control the stability control. The beauty of this pedal is you get this additional way of very dynamically controlling the quality of the fuzz sound. And drama, as we know, is both good in the musical sense and also in the visual sense. What could be better than playing fuzzy guitar and waving stuff around while you're doing it and actually affecting the sound? Not much. So another thing that's nice about this pedal is you can use it like a regular fuzz face at the settings where stability is kind of turned up and the pedal is pretty stable. You get all the famous, wonderful fuzz sounds that the Fuzz Factory is known for. And they range from really, really corpulent, fat fuzzes to really kind of ripping, Velcro-y, skinny type fuzzes. And it takes a minute to change sounds on this pedal because the controls are very interactive and there's such range on them that you really need to experiment to get the sounds you want. Let's talk quickly about the controls. You have a volume control. This pedal is capable of very high output. You have a gate control that enables you both to silence the pedal when you're not playing, but perhaps more importantly to create some really sort of ripping Velcro-y sound by turning the gate up pretty high. You have a comp control that interacts a lot with the gate, drive, and stab controls, and is another way of silencing the pedal, but also a way of creating more focused or looser, broader spectrum fuzz sounds. Sort of varies. I like to think of it, I mean, I don't know how accurate it is, but I like to think of it as sort of varying the sort of width of the fuzz or the girth of the fuzz. You have the drive control that enables you to go from sort of more tame levels of distortion to very saturated and intense levels, and at the higher levels there's going to be more noise and even self-oscillation, as you'd expect. And finally, you have the stability control that controls how stable the circuit is and how controllable it is at the higher settings. The pedal behaves much as any fuzz pedal would. At the lower settings, it begins to self-oscillate. That's the higher setting. It's a beautiful dynamic fuzz pedal. Here it begins to self-oscillate, and as we mess with the drive control, we can change the pitch. We can also change the pitch with our volume control and play this thing like a synth. All very interactive, and once we have the thing capable of self-oscillation or the stability control somewhere below its maximum, we can begin to control all kinds of aspects of the sound of the fuzz with this antenna. Even though really all it's doing is sweeping the stability knob, it creates huge changes. I'm going to stop right there because I feel that I've already embarrassed myself, and the risk of perhaps seriously embarrassing myself and even sort of precluding future job opportunities and that kind of thing is probably pretty high. So I'm just going to say, get a hold of the folks at Rock and Roll Vintage. Get yourself the Vexter Series Fuzz Probe. It's affordable. It sounds every bit as good as the hand-painted Fuzz Probe, and we've been waiting a long time for this to be available to players like us at a slightly more affordable price point. What else can I say? Till next time.